presenting Vistas of Israel. And the cities shall be builded, and the wastes shall be inhabited. Israel shall blossom and bud, and fill the face of the land with fruit. And it came to pass. A new young democracy has been born from the roots of biblical prophecy, and the barren desert is blooming. This is the story of the land of Israel. We invite you to meet its people, listen to their music and poetry, and journey through the scenic expanse of their historic country, visiting ancient biblical sites and new pioneer settlements. And now, transcribed, we present Vistas of Israel. Many of our listeners are familiar with the name of Shoshanas Dmari, who's known in Europe and America as Israel's outstanding interpreter of Hebrew and Yemenite music and the country's foremost folk singer. Miss Dmari has appeared with great success in many cities throughout the United States, Canada, and Latin countries. And she recently concluded a highly successful engagement at the Village Vanguard in New York City. We're indeed privileged to have Miss Dmari in our studio today. Miss Dmari, most people attribute your success to a very unique singing style. I'd like you, if you will, to tell our listeners something about this style of singing, how it came about, what influences, possibly in your early life, might have created this.
Of course, my singing style, it's the Hebrew style, and especially it's the Yemenite style. It comes from the Bible, from the religious people, like my father. He's a rabbi.
Oh?
Yeah, and he lives in Rishon LeZion, the first Zion
Farm?
farm, that's right.
Actually, first Jewish farming settlement.
Yes, in Israel.
Mm-hmm. And that's where you grew up?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a rabbi. He used to sing every Friday night at home, and I used to help him with singing.
What kind of music was there around the farm?
The shepherd songs from the shepherd. I had a shepherd every day near to our house, Rishon LeZion.
Mm-hmm.
And now the modern
You heard,
singing.
You heard these shepherd chants every day as they worked with their flocks, singing the original chants.
Yes.
And this plus the music of your father were all influences in this style.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you did more than that, didn't you? You took these original chants and added something new to them, because I've heard you, and they have these original Hebraic themes, and you have added a kind of modern.
Yes, I have the modern singing and the old singing.
And this, as I understand it, is really the essence of your style, Mr. Murray. Well, now, can you tell us how long you've actually been singing?
Oh, that's I will not tell you, because then you will know my age.
Oh,
and I don't want you to know.
Well, let me put the question another way. Then, shall we say, how early in life did you start singing?
When I was a little girl.
I see.
When I was 13 years old, I was in dramatic studio.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be
Where was that?
an actress.
Where was this dramatic studio?
In Tel Aviv.
I see.
And then it changed. They found I have voice by accident.
A very, very happy accident, I would say.
Now I am very happy.
Oh, you weren't happy then? I'm sure you were.
No.
Well, I can see that it did probably mean you're making a decision to change from being an actress to a singer. How did you feel about that?
I'll tell you, when I'm singing now, I use my acting with my singing.
Oh, yes.
because I love it.
In other words, you've made a combination of
Yes.
theater techniques and actual
That's
singing. And
right.
after all,
Yeah.
performing as a singer is certainly very closely related to performing as an actor, and you've utilized
That's right.
those dramatic techniques in telling your story.
And when I was 14 years old, I sang in the broadcasting radio in Jerusalem as
see.
the first professional.
So this was your first
Yeah.
professional. Now, up until that time, you began singing at a very
Yes.
early age, as a little girl, and as a
Yes.
just a little bit older girl, you began singing
Uh-huh.
professionally.
And when I was 17, I did my first concert in Tel Aviv.
Mr. Mari, can you tell us a little bit about how you feel about singing before American audiences?
Of course, I feel very good, and I feel very bad.
Oh, how's that?
I feel very good because they appreciate my singing and they enjoyed the singing, but I'm very sorry for them because they don't understand the words I'm singing.
Yet, I feel that in listening to you and watching you sing and perform, you manage so well, in spite of this language barrier, to get your story across. It doesn't matter really what language you sing it in, still it's something in the song itself comes through.
That's right.
Well, now, what impressed you most about your stay here in America, Mr. Mari?
The most is the people, the audience, my audience here in America, because they are very nice to me and very kind, and I feel very warm, like at home.
Well, we certainly want you to feel at home, Mr. Mari, and
I feel very good.
we feel very good having you, and I know we're going to continue feeling that way every time you come back and are good enough to perform for us. And speaking of performing for us, we would really appreciate very much today if you would sing us a small program of songs, and perhaps you could present them to us in the very manner that you do in one of your regular performances, such as you've done at the Village Vanguard here in New York. And by that I mean giving us a little introduction before each song, telling us perhaps something about the idea of the song, what the title means, or just what it's about. Would you be kind enough to do that for us?
Okay, I will.
Thank you, Mr. Murray.
I like to sing for you the song called Marbad הקסמים, in English, the magic carpet. The story is about the Yemenite people, how they travel from Yemen to Israel by the magic carpet. The music by Moshe Vilensky.
שם שוכן לו כבר קטן, ובכריש יהודים, עניים ומרודים, אין שם כביש ואין רכבת, לא קולנוע, לא ביתם, ובקצה הכפר יושבת, כל משפחת משולם, וחולמים הם על משיח, שיופיע על חמור. עד שבא לכפר שליח והביא כזה מזמור יבורך זה מרבד הקסמים העובר בדמארי-ראיון וימים האוסף וגואל את עם ישראל ומביא לחופי מבטחים את העם על מרבד הקסמים המרבד מורד אחוז והחסי עורב אחוז מה לעשות אלה בשמיים הם צריכים לדוס כולם אז הזמינו מרבדיים למשפחת משולם אמרה השמיע השטיח המעופר זה אותו משיח החמור רק יתחלל יבורך זה מרבד הקסמים העובר בדמארי-ראיון וימים האוסף וגואל את עם ישראל ומביא לחופי מבטחים את העם על מרבד הקסמים
Haggai. And now the love of the shepherds. This is the real love. By Elias and the music by Moshe Vilensky.
כאשר תעצם לעיניי ואשכח את דריי ואולי עוד אזכור ידידיי הרוח הקטנה מהגיא כוכבים ידעכו מעליי והחושך יכעס את חיי אני עוד לפניי הרוח הקטנה מן הגיא אני עוד לפניי הרוע הקטנה מן הגיא באיראן יעלמו ציפורים והרוח חלום בהרי גחריש חנירי וזמרו אך שמע את צלה בעורו והיה כי יפתח את עיניי והנה הרוע מן הגיא זה היה שחמחמה בן גדיי היא פועה ושואלת מתי כי גדיי שחמחמה בן גדיי היא פועה ושואלת מתי היא שואלת מתי בחורי תברך את אמי בכפרי ותאכל מפריה בגנה ותשתה עם אבי מיינה ואשיב לרועה הקטנה לא אשבע מפריה בגנה לא אבחר מיינה בגיתה רק ביקשתי לשכוח ביתה לא אשכח מיינה בגיתה רק ביקשתי לשכוח ביתה
Miss Dmari, that was really delightful. Thank you very, very much.
And thank you.
I'm sure after hearing those selections, our listeners have a better idea now what we mean by your unique singing style. And I'm also sure that they agree with us that you're really very welcome here in America anytime. We'll always be glad to hear you. And by the way, can you tell us when will be the next chance for that?
The next chance, I'm going to do a concert tour
Oh,
all over in America.
wonderful. When does that begin?
A month from now,
I see. And it will last
from coast to coast,
and that will last for how long?
for 3 months.
That's wonderful, Miss Dmari, and thank you again very
And
much.
thank you.
We have just brought you a transcribed program devoted to the historic land of Israel. This is Bill Myers inviting you to join us again next week on this same station for another in the series presenting Vistas of Israel.